Okay, so labor has started. We're going to go through two different scenarios here. I'm going to talk to you about hospital inductions and what that looks like when it gets started, and spontaneous starting. That means that you're like at home and just labor kicks off on its own. Regardless, whether you're at home or you're at the hospital with an induction, typically early labor is más o menos, more or less the same. So at home, if you have the opportunity to be at home in early labor, we talked about this when I was walking you through what a birth can be like with just some nuggets of advice. But I just want for you to take that time to settle into yourself. Really view this as the ceremony. This is your birth. This is like your birth into motherhood. This is the greatest ceremony of all time. This is an initiation. This is a rite of passage. And so when that kicks off, like, take a moment to settle into it. Take a moment of recognition. And I don't know what your spiritual practice is, but take a moment to connect to that, to pray, to like call in all of your ancestors, all of the deities, all of the guides and guardians and angels of your life to witness you in that moment. If you've recently lost someone close to you, have them with you. Have your angels. Birth is the opening of a portal. It is wild. I have yet to have a single mom, and all of the moms I've ever witnessed, not turn to me afterwards and be like, well, that was crazy. Like, birth is a wild experience. And so really settling into that is super important. So if you're at home and you can, create a space and be really comfortable, that's amazing. But even at the hospital, like, dim the lights, go into the bathroom by yourself, go take a shower, go take a bath if you can. Baths are amazing. And even if you're getting induced, you can go take a bath. You can do that. And just tune into yourself, tune into your baby, talk to your baby, tell baby what the game plan is. Tell baby that you need to work together, that you're going to have a beautiful experience, that you're going to work hard, that they're going to work hard, and that together they're going to unite on the outside world. Tell your baby not to be scared. If you're scared, baby can feel that. And why would baby want to leave this amazing hot tub where it just gets spoon-fed all day long and come out into this crazy world that we live in? Like, we need to create the environment where baby feels welcome to come out. And so in that early labor period, once you're in that headspace of like, okay, let the ceremony begin, let's walk this road. It can be a long road. So back to the metaphor of contractions as waves. You can ride those waves, and in between those waves, I want you to float. I want you to float. I want for you to feel held. I want for you to relax. I want for you to feel safe. Here's the thing. No matter what happens in your birth, if everything goes totally haywire, if baby crashes, if things are crazy, if your midwife doesn't show up, if there's a crazy storm outside, you can still feel safe, especially with your partner or with your doula or with the rest of your care team. And you feeling safe is literally the most important thing. You can feel safe during medical interventions. You can feel safe when you don't really know what's happening, as long as you know that you are in that protective bubble and that your partner's got you, that your doula's got you, that your midwife or your OB, the nurses are recognizing you. And so partner, that is your job, is to ensure that mom throughout the entirety of this experience feels seen and safe and held and heard, because even if things go totally wrong, she'll be able to look back on this birth and be like, I was so supported. And that's what we want for mom. We want for you to feel so supported. So now we're excited. Like, contractions are rolling, those waves are rolling. We're going between jumping in the waves, riding the waves, getting knocked out by some of those waves, because some of those waves can be incredibly intense. But you are resting in between. You are eating bites of yogurt. You are eating popsicles. You are eating fruit. You are really eating whatever is appealing to you in that moment. But please eat, and please stay very hydrated. Another great labor station is literally just sitting on the toilet. Your body knows how to relax when you sit on the toilet. So if we're talking about labor stations, let's come up with 6 right now. You do each one for 10 minutes and an hour goes by. One of them, literally sit on the toilet for 10 minutes. You can either sit on it normally, or you can turn around and like rest on the back of it. You can put some towels or some pillows there to prop you, but your body has been sitting on a toilet for a very long time. You know how to relax there. You know how to send breath down and literally just like let yourself open. Maybe fluids will come out of you. Birth can be messy. Another one is to take a bath or to take a shower for 10 minutes. At this point, if you're worried about like cooking your baby, because it's ill-advised to, be in hot tubs or whatever, especially throughout the pregnancy and late term, Your bath will cool down fast enough that you're not going to cook the baby. So you don't have to worry about giving baby a fever. The bath will cool down in enough time to not impact the baby. So taking a bath, going on a walk, lunging on the stairs, side lying from side to side. If you want to rest, that can be a great thing. And then partner. What can you do during this time to be helpful? You can be applying counter pressure. I have a whole video where I'm demoing different things that you can do, but you can be super, super, super hands-on. Or this is also a time of like, if you have chaos in your life and you have other kids and you need to get them to, to someone's house, or you have a dog that needs to go into doggy daycare, or like, they're all the other moving pieces of life. Early labor can be a time where you, mom, come into yourself, and you, partner or dad, like you're kind of handling the outside world. But then come back to mom and remember that like you need to be riding these waves with her. You need to be right there. You need to be right there. And when she's drowning, or when she gets knocked out by one of those waves, because every so often those contractions are going to be freaking intense, you are there holding her hand. And if you can introduce pleasure before pain, so if like you're doing a hip squeeze or offering counter pressure or massaging her shoulders or rubbing her feet, if you're able to introduce the sensation of pleasure before the pain, that pain won't hit quite so high. It'll only go about here and then come back down. So introducing pleasure before pain helps the body recalibrate and not be so intense. Other things in early labor, you can be watching shows. We talked about that too. Just like having the time go by, dancing, moving. Like literally, like if you've ever wondered if a twerk class is a good idea for you, now is the time to start practicing. You dance that baby earthside. And all of those things, like all of that jiggling, all of that movement will help baby get into the proper position for birth. If you are having severe back pain, if you're having severe lower back pain, and some people, I'm gonna like side note this, some people experience back pain and they don't realize that they're in labor, because instead of having like the cramping in your low belly, like most of like a period cramp, which is a lot what a contraction feels like, just much more intense, but they'll get back cramps. They'll get cramps in their lower back, and that typically means that baby is going to be sunny side up, and so you need baby to flip inside of you in order to come out head first, or chin tucked instead of hello, welcome. So ways that you can do that is doing a lot of things to hang forward. You want that belly to hang forward, so you can be leaning over a table, leaning over a bed, just like being on all fours, just like letting that belly hang really helps that baby move into the optimal position. But if you are experiencing back labor, like counter pressure on the back it feels so good and it's so helpful. So partner, get in there, do all of those things. And then remember, when you are no longer able to speak in full sentences, or when you're like, I need additional support, that's when you should go to the hospital or to the birth center. If you go there before then, like you might get there and because maybe you've still been laboring for 8 hours and it's intense and you're ready to go, like they might send you home. And if that's the case, like you go home and you keep going, and maybe you do need to just like know how dilated you are. In terms of dilation, some people like need to know, and they want to know every 2 hours. They want to know they're making progress. That's how they're going to keep going. I've had other clients that don't want to know, and either way is great. If you want to know, awesome. And if the downside to it though is if you get there and you've been laboring a long time and they tell you you're at 3 centimeters, that's a tough one. And so maybe you can tell your doctor, only tell me if I'm like past 6 or if I'm past 7. Until then, I don't want to know, because either way, like early labor can be super, super, super long. And so I'm telling you this because I want you to get in that headspace of gearing up for a marathon. Have your snacks, have your team, have your distractions, have your comforts, have your breath, have your headspace. And remember, like I said, all of this power is you, mama. Like all of this pain that you're feeling is productive. It's working for you. It's reaching a goal. This is not punishment. This is not punishment. This is productivity. This is the portal opening. This is birth, and you are being initiated. And like motherhood is no joke. Like motherhood is no joke. The world, your children are going to ask for you to sacrifice so much of yourself, and like already, well done. You've been pregnant and now you have to birth, and then they're going to like send you home with a little alien that doesn't know how to be a human yet, and you're expected to know how to take care of it. It's a lot. And so as you're going through this initiation, remember that every single one of those waves is getting you closer. You are traveling, you are transporting, you are also being born. And eventually when you come out of that water, you will also be a new person.